The Bloomsburg Fairgrounds is a rich monster heritage, and this season will be no exception. As this massive carnival packs with fairgoers, the stands begin to fill with monster truck fans hungry for mayhem. Welcome to the foot of the Pocono Mountains and the legendary Bloomsburg Fairgrounds as we get set to wrap up the 166th annual Bloomsburg Fair. This place is packed with fairgoers, carnival lovers, and motorsports fans because on the last day every year they bring on the motorsports here at the Bloomsburg Fair, and this year to wrap everything up, the MTRL has brought in 6 awesome monster trucks. Track building got underway not too long ago. They actually had a demo derby there earlier, and they brought monster trucks from far and wide, south of the Mason-Dixon, north of the border, and yes, even west of the Mississippi. And a few legends showed up as our track announcer Mark Werner had a chance to talk to the legendary Kid Rarig of Thunder Chicken and Pennsylvania Mountain Monster fame earlier today. Now, the sun is setting, the temperatures are cooling down. It was a hot day earlier, but it's getting kind of chilly. But that means these trucks should be able to make a ton of horsepower in front of these packed grandstands. And we're about to get things underway with the best trick competition. As you can see, there's already a ton of dust in the air from these trucks leaving the track a little earlier. It's a very cold, dry night. Now, they have been keeping the track water. We'll see if the surface holds up. First up, though, will be Michael Cole out of Daytona Beach, Florida, and the Saltwater Cowboy with a nice vertical wheel stand there. Former Kohler chassis machine with the long Chevy Silverado body on it. The extended cab, we'll see what he has for his second hit. 2 hits here in the best trick competition. One by fan approval, and he's already started off strong here with the Saltwater Cowboy out of Florida, formerly out of the state of New York. Another solid move right up here by the catch fence. A good run to open up this best trick competition for Michael Cole. That will definitely set the bar high here in Bloomsburg. We'll see what our next competitor has. And we talked about the guys coming from north of the border. Here is the flying Frenchman, Pat Paquette, Psycho Pat. Follows up Michael Cole nicely. The Frenchman out of Quebec City, letting it all hang out. Maybe not what he wanted off that second hit, but a good opening move for Pat as he wields the former Western States monster truck chassis around. Let some of you who may be in the know figure out what truck this used to be, but some history underneath this awesome machine. He's making a couple extra hits here. Looks like he's already ready for freestyle. We've still got qualifying and racing to go, but Pat getting the fans on their feet. Again, those first 2 hits will be all that's counted in the run, but definitely showing the crowd that he is here to perform with that 468 cubic inch racing engine in the back. The former NHRA drag racer doing a nice job in the Psycho Pat machine. Up next, a legendary name in monster trucks being driven by the man who has helped tune this machine to a championship state right now, the Lethal Threat Stomper and Dalton Van Skye out of the Hoosier State. I think he wanted a slap wheelie, but these elevated ramps may be a bit much for him. A solid pair of moves right there for Dalton. Truck designed by Jason Whitty out of Washington, Missouri, ran his Wild Hair for quite some time, and then Joe Nichter, of course, taking over the reins of this machine and bringing the Stomper name back, which, if you know anything about the Wild Hair Stomper lineage, a little bit ironic that this truck ended up becoming Stomper after all these years. Right now, though, Dalton sitting atop the fleet. A solid run for him. It looks like he will take over this best trick competition. Up next, we mentioned guys coming from west of the Mississippi. Well, here is Alan Fenstermaker at the wheel of Mark Andrews' Wicked Sickness, the truck out of St. Louis, Missouri. Alan out of Eureka, Missouri, by way of the state of Pennsylvania, so he's technically come back home. All the way from Missouri. We'll see what he's got. Fantastic job launching the truck sky high. What a job for Alan Fenstermaker as he gets in a little bit of trouble on that second hit. And it looks like he may have quite a bit of trouble now as the truck sits apparently injured right there on that side of the track. There you see Mark Andrew over there on the far side looking underneath the front end of Wicked Sickness, checking out the damage, and it would appear that they have some major damage under this truck, but not for lack of trying, man. They came all the way out of Missouri to put on a show. So we'll get another look here in a moment at the actual run. Fenstermaker cannot be happy right now. I'm sure they'll take this truck back, though, and try to get it fixed, at the very least for Freestyle, but take nothing away from Fenstermaker. He came to play. As he unstraps, you can see the disappointment in his eyes. Well, look at it again. Watch him launch this machine sky high. You can see some smoke coming out of the front end. I'm not sure if they maybe just bound up the front pinion or hurt a planetary or what, but when he comes over this second, we're not going to get a look at it again, but when he came over that second hit, it looked like one of the front tires locked up as the Roto-Rooter guy shoots some T-shirts into the crowd. Awesome machine. I don't know what else to say about that thing, but definitely getting the fans on their feet. We'll see now. Kevin King out of Warrensboro, Georgia, south of the Mason-Dixon, and this wild-looking Bronco. I don't know. A lot of people call this a Centurion, but there's a little more going on with that body than meets the eye. Beautiful wheel stand. That was an incredible ride down the face of that racing ramp. Kevin King making it look easy in the straight jacket. It gets a little narrow over on that one end of the track. Kevin King taking on some of the freestyle stacks in the middle, and he's another one. It looks like he wants to lay down a mini freestyle here. Kevin making a statement right now, sitting on top is Alan Fenstermaker in Wicked Sickness. So it's a Ford out of Missouri right now, holding off the Ford out of the Peach State. Second generation Georgia driver Kevin King headed right back to his trailer. We just noticed he did not go back to his pit spot up here near the front stretch. Could be problems for that truck. We'll wait and see. Up next, another Canadian out of Toronto, Ontario, Eddie Como and Anger Management. Not quite getting what he wanted out of this heavyweight right here, but we know that truck can stand up here vertical. Looked like he was trying to go for a stoppie right there. Couldn't get it to materialize, but definitely trying to make his presence known again. These guys didn't all come from nearby. The teammate to Psychopath, the owner of that team, Eddie Como, laying down a shot here in Anger Management. Saw a couple sparks out of the front of the drivetrain, so it looks like that'll be all she wrote for right now. He'll take that back and get that truck checked over, but it looks like the champion of our best trick competition will be none other than the high-flying Alan Fenstermaker in Mark Andrews' Wicked Sickness. Unfortunately, though, they will not be back. They shattered the transfer case, and that will be the end of the weekend for that team. But, again, it wasn't for lack of trying. They absolutely drove that truck for all it was worth, flying high. Right now, we're down to 4, though, for racing. Stay with us. It's going to get interesting.
This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date show, ticket info, and a wide selection of photo and video galleries, visit monstersmonthly.com. And by RPM Army, featuring action-packed content from around the web. Visit rpmarmy.com, your source for motorsports on the go. This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Crush This. For an inside look at the world of monster trucks, check out Crush This, available on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Welcome back to the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania for the 166th annual Bloomsburg Fair. Last day here at the fair, and the MTRL has brought out the monster trucks as we get ready for qualifying round action, starting things off with the big Chevy out of the Sunshine State by way of the Empire State. This is the Saltwater Cowboy, Michael Cole, getting ready to lay down the first of what will be 4 qualifying runs, maybe a 5th. Kevin King with battery problems. This is definitely a driver's course, a 7.83 to set the pace for Michael Cole. He is in the seat right now to set the stage for all our competitions due to the blind draw before the event. He will likely also start out freestyle. Up next, down in Quebec City, Psycho Pat. That's Pat Paquette. 468 cubic inches in the back of this big bad Silverado. Not going to better the time of 7:99, so he's about on pace, but we'll fall a little bit behind. Right now, that'll put him into second place. As you can see, we have some very, very aggressive race lanes here. Up next, the guy who could get the job done, Dalton Van Skyhock out of Portland, Indiana, in the Lethal Threat Stomper. Ready to take the green. The starter leaves the line. I'd say the work he's done on that truck is definitely working in his favor. A 7.01 second run to take the number 1 spot on the grid. Up last will be none other than the Toronto, Ontario native Eddie Como in the legendary Anger Management Chevrolet. See the apparent sparks out of the front end again, a 788. Not quite what he was looking for, but not a bad run for Como, as he will better his teammate. Pat Paquette, as you can see, our crush cam is hanging in there right on the top of the final jump in the race lanes in the right-hand lane. As we get ready to set our bracket, we will take a look at the qualifying times as they stand. Right now, Dalton Van Skyhock with that 7.01 seems to have the measure of this track. We will see how he does when there's another truck in the other lane. And then Saltwater Cowboy, Anger Management, and Psycho Pat rounding out the field. And it looks like we'll see Stomper taking on Psycho Pat, and then the Saltwater Cowboy against Anger Management. So we will have 1 Canadian and 1 American in both pairings. We could have a Canadian versus Canadian final round. In the meantime, we're going to give you a few highlights from some of the action that was going on along with the monster trucks. You saw Top Dog Tucker out of Southern Virginia, and for the final night, Colton Kiser in the incredible American Scout, the Pizzo-built Mini. He and Tucker laid down some fantastic early freestyle runs there. You see Tucker getting some big hang time, as well as Colton. 2 different dynamics in the Mini Monsters, but neither one of these guys took it easy on their machines. We are still just getting things underway. The action's going to get more wild as we continue. Stay with us. Racing is next.
Hey, welcome to Wild Man Adventures. First the Silver Lake Sand Dragway. There really wasn't any off-roading back then. It was all off-road. We're on our way to Lima, Ohio. Got wooden wheels.
Oh, it's slippery as all get out of.
Hey, we're here with Rich Cummins. Hey, we're here with Mike Potter.
Hey, we're here with Alan Pizzo.
Gotta check it out. This week we're gonna go down memory lane.
Welcome back to the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds on this crisp October evening in the Keystone State. We're getting ready for round number 1 of monster truck racing, and there have been some developments. Eddie Como with steering problems, working feverishly to get that truck fixed and bring it back for freestyle. So there's been a change-up. Our number 1 qualifier will get a bye into the championship race, and that means that Saltwater Cowboy, your second fastest, will take on your 4th fastest. Psycho Pat Paquette, here in round number 1. A pair of Chevys opening things up here in racing. Look like Pat rolled a little bit on the start. They are side by side. Maybe an edge to Cole there at the end of the run. The Florida Chevrolet looks like he may have been able to hold off the Canadian. The Flying Frenchman definitely living up to his name there. Look at that hang time. I think that hurt him at the end because you can see Michael Cole with about a tire length advantage as our angle here on the finish line is a little bit off. We're not right on the cone. We're a little bit behind it. So Cole with an advantage there, as you saw on the replay, will go to the final round now against this man, Dalton Van Skyhock. As I said, the fastest qualifier got to buy into this round because we were down to 3 trucks. Take nothing away from any of these guys, though. They are running that hard. As you saw in the best trick competition, Alan Fenstermaker absolutely wailed on Wicked Sickness. Eddie Como, he's been working hard here tonight. He tried to make a run down this track earlier, and the truck would not line up on the starting line. Hence what we're seeing here with Stomper getting the bye into this final round. But it's not going to be a freebie. Michael Cole has the lane that he qualified out of. Dalton Van Skyhock has not run the lane he's in right now, so there may be an advantage to Cole here as we wait on green. The jump for Stomper. Well, once Michael Cole got in that final no man's land, it looked like he turned on the power. We will see who won that one. Again, a very clear jump for the Stomper, but watch here in the second no man's land. The nosedive in the far lane. Looks like it may have hurt him. He tried to get back on the power, but by less than a foot, the Saltwater Cowboy picks up the racing victory. So racing will go to the south. Down to Daytona Beach, Florida. Michael Cole came a long way to try to pick up a victory in this competition, and he will do so. In the meantime, we're going to show you some more highlights from our mini monsters. Top Dog Tucker flying in that little Top Dog Dodge body machine, the Patriot chassis mini monster. And again, this kid has kind of found new life here as he will apparently be moving into a full-size truck in the very near future. Now, a guy we know is moving into a full-size truck very soon is this guy, Colton Kiser, in the American Scout out of Indianapolis, Indiana. This would be his final night in front of a crowd in this amazing Alan Pizzo built mini monster, and he definitely gave them their money's worth.
And right now, the louder you get, the wilder you're going to go, Bloomsburg.
Absolutely incredible freestyle, and Colton Kiser was pumped up as he tossed the steering wheel. He will remove the helmet and climb out of the cab of that Mini one final time. Colton Kiser, turn him on here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania.
This was awesome. I can't thank everyone enough for the past 5 years in this truck. It's been amazing. We obviously got our light sponsors, oil and all that. I can't thank the man himself, Alan Pizzo, Predator Racing. He built that piece. One of the top 3 mini monster trucks on this planet. I'm not saying that to sound arrogant, I'm saying that because it's the truth. Thank y'all so much. I want to thank all of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania for making my last show a memorable one. We'll see you guys in the American Scout full-size truck.
Well, as Colton gets ready to take that thing and put it on the trailer, it's going to be going to a new home before the end of the year. But next year, we will certainly be seeing him in the American Scout full-size. Stay with us. Freestyle is next. Welcome back to the 166th annual Bloomsburg Fair in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. As I mentioned earlier, this entire facility was completely refurbished and rebuilt. You got this beautiful infield with the catch fence and the full track lighting here. Definitely giving us a great view of these trucks. The safety wall here up front by the catch fence as these guys get ready to go in freestyle. First up, Michael Cole, your racing winner in the Saltwater Cowboy out of Daytona Beach, Florida. See what he has. As I said, this former Team Scream chassis that he's got underneath of him. That chassis's had a lot of names on it as he gets a nice wheelie off the freestyle ramp down there on the far end of the track at the top end. Cole definitely not afraid to hammer on that big truck. We've seen him run this thing over the years, and sometimes he's the most spectacular. Sometimes he falls on his face real quick. Tonight, he is definitely not disappointing. He is running the wheels off this big Chevy. Well, he's been doing a nice job from the #1 spot all night long. He's definitely not setting a low bar for anybody that has to run behind him. We'll see what everybody else has for him right now. Michael Cole heads back to the pits. He'll set the pace for everyone behind him. Up next, the wheelie machine stomper, the lethal threat stomper out of Portland, Indiana. That's Dalton Van Skyok. Wanted one of his trademark slab wheelies earlier in the competition during Best Trick, and it just didn't work out the way he wanted it to. I guarantee you we get one before the end of this freestyle. You will see why this truck is known as a wheelie machine. Trying for one right there in the Lethal Threat Chevrolet. We'll see. There it is, digging up the track with the wheelie bar. Such a well-built piece of equipment. It might be an older design, but it has certainly proven itself faithful to its various drivers over the years. Joe Nichter's Lethal Threat Stomper being piloted by Dalton Van Skyok. And again, this machine is such a great crew behind it that includes Richie Kiser, who has been the backbone for Colton Kiser's American Scout Mini. Word is that the American Scout and Stomper may be traveling together next year as a pair of full-size monster trucks. Dalton laying down quite a run right now. The incredible Stomper Chevrolet. Not a whole lot of room to carry a wheelie out down the length of the track, and it gets very narrow on each end. You can see there's some campers and stuff set up on the infield, so you want to make sure you maintain control. They're nowhere near the track, but you don't want to get too out of sorts and end up getting over by anybody's equipment as Dalton Van Skyok finishes up an awesome run, the Lethal Threat Stomper. We'll see if it takes over. For right now, I believe he may have jumped into the lead with that run. Got the front end back down, riding out the bounces right into the back of the racing lanes for a sky wheelie. Dalton Van Skyok raising the bar on the Indiana-based Lethal Threat Stomper. Up next, here he comes out of Warrensboro, Georgia. We weren't sure if we'd see him back, but he came to play on this night. Kevin King. Kevin definitely wanted to show off for the crowd here at this legendary facility, and man, this is one of those places that if you could say you got to win at Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, it's definitely something to put on your mantle, as Kevin King came a long way to show off in front of these Keystone State folks. He's been having some electrical problems here tonight, but definitely, again, not for lack of trying that the truck was having trouble. He ran it hard in that best trick competition. Actually ended up pulling apart some battery cables. Did a little more damage than he thought, but you can see he's running hard right here in this incredible, I don't know what to call it, just a Bronco. We'll just call it a Bronco. I don't want to give away the secrets on this body here, but as I said, there's more than meets the eye on this extended wheelbase Bronco. Straight jacket out of the state of Georgia, the second generation driver, and father driving for many years at the Radical Motion legacy, and Kevin certainly doing that family proud, as this will be his final season behind the wheel of this machine as an owner. I'm sure we'll see him back in the future, but he is laying down a classic right now in the straight jacket Ford. Looks like he's coming for these infield cars. Nobody's hit these yet. Nicely done, and there's actually a pair of K-rails up underneath of there. That's why those cars are sitting sideways, so it's a hard hit. You definitely get in trouble if you don't hit them just right. Kevin King laying down a shot in straight jacket. Guy has gone end-to-end. He's had quite a career. Driven some legendary machines. He actually purchased the old Iron Warrior. That was Glenn Boland's machine on the Thunder National Series for many, many years. Ran with the full cantilever truck. So he's definitely made his bones at the wheel. Oh, he's in trouble. could not drive out of it. I do believe that the electrical problems jumped up and bit him again. He did not mean to turn that over. Believe me when I tell you that, because he's very proud of that Bronco body. Last thing he wanted to do is take that cab corner lead. You see Dalton Van Skyok taking that little piece of fiberglass away with him. Kevin King coming out to the roar of the crowd. They were hungry for mayhem. They got some. Kevin King turning them on. Here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, he came out very quickly. You saw how quick the safety crew was down there, and they're going to go ahead and right that vehicle, and we'll bring out our next competitor here in a moment. But Kevin King got in a little bit of trouble there as he came off the right-hand side of that race lane. And again, these elevated race lanes put quite a bit of elevation under the high side of the truck here. We'll watch it again. You can see he was having an apparent steering problem during the run, and I do believe that the steering hung up on him right there, because it never looked like he made a move to bring it back. You see, falls off the side of the cars. He turned the wheel to the left trying to get back on, and you can see it just stayed straight. He wasn't driving away from it. Side surfing there for a while, thought he might be able to pull it out, but apparently he had a problem in the steering and dumped the truck over straightjacket. They've got the truck back up on all fours, obviously, but he's done for the night. Didn't disappoint us. Psycho Pat, the Flying Frenchman out of Quebec City, comes out to throw it down in this awesome Silverado. He and Eddie are always kind of sleepers in the field. They may not come out charging hard right at the beginning. Sometimes they'll come out, just check the track. They'll make it look good. But when we get to freestyle, as you can see, they will cut it loose. There's some telephone poles and some power equipment over there. That's why he locked up the brakes. Almost got himself in trouble right there, I'd say, except for that little hesitation on that far end of the track. He's had the best momentum so far. He's going to have to go some, though, to top Kevin King. King put on a clinic. Got one Chevy and one Ford that have taken wins in 2 competitions so far. With this final competition, who will go out of here with the most wins? Will it be the Bow Tie or the Blue Oval Brigade? Hard hit on the right rear, and he is upside down. He did not expect that car, that jump, to kick him off to the right that hard, or to be that vertical. He's hit it 2 times already tonight. He just got some nice hang time. He just lofted the truck, but that time it kicked him hard. Holy cow. Again, you can see how quick our safety crew is down there. Pat was out of the truck immediately, but a lot of damage, it looks like, on the run. As you can see here in a couple highlights, almost got himself in trouble right there. And we'll look at this huge hang time. Watch him again. And it looks like this time he was off center. The right side caught the trunk and the left side caught the A-pillar. And with the front end in the air, it just sent the thing. When the rear tires hit, it kicked the truck off to the right. When he came down, it blew the steering ram apart. It actually blew the cap off the steering ram, which is, believe it or not, fortunate, because he didn't end up widening up the 4-link bar, so it shouldn't have hurt the drivetrain or the transfer case or anything like that. So may not be much other than fiberglass damage and the steering ram that need fixed before they get this thing back out on the track. In the meantime, his teammate, Eddie Como, the owner of this team out of Toronto, Ontario. This is the Anger Management Chevy Silverado from north of the border. Seen this guy end up on his top in the past. He's not afraid to drive hard either. That's a big old heavy full lug Goodyears on this. Big 16 ply. They will take a beating, but they are not fun to load in a trailer at the end of the night. One of the hardest working teams in the business, and they often drive further than anybody else to get to the venue. Looks like Como may be having some problems with the anger management Chevrolet, and again we see, he has broken a drive shaft in the front end. It was moving around there when he went past us on this side of the track. He is going to be done. Not the way he wanted to end things up, but they have been working hard all night. They did not come all the way out of Toronto, Ontario to not try to put on a show. Not the way he wanted to wrap it up, but believe me, he's not disappointed in the action. His team left this facility, and there you have it, your freestyle champion here tonight in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. It was a wild one. It was unpredictable. Psycho Pat taking the freestyle victory. There you see the drive shaft of Eddie Como and anger management. What a night of action here in the Keystone State. And congratulations to Alan Fenstermaker, your best trick champion, Michael Collier racing champion, and Pat Paquette, your freestyle champion. And again, great to see the minis out here. Colton Kiser and Tucker Reif letting it all hang out. And there's one more look at the wild ride from Psycho Pat. Thank you for joining us. So thank you to the MTRL. We will see you next time.